with me.
After seeing the world begin to fall into anarchy and the start of a second Omnic crisis, Winston has recalled many ex-Overwatch agents to action, and although any Overwatch activity has been deemed illegal, some heroes have answered the call. But who is going to be a part of this new Overwatch, and who most certainly will not? Obviously, Winston is the place to start. He made the decision to recall Overwatch and is very likely to be its leader, at least for the time being, but not everyone thinks that he's up to the job.
Think you can do my job, do you?
Someone has to.
However, Winston won't be alone in running the organisation. He will undoubtedly be assisted by Athena, the AI from the recall cinematic.
I'm detecting intruders.
Talon. Athena. Kill the lights.
She's more than just a glorified Amazon Echo. Athena seems to be a very powerful AI that was part of Overwatch while it was operational the first time around.
It has been 43 days, 7 hours and 29 seconds since your last cardio workout. Remember, a healthy body is a
Healthy mind. That's why I have this.
When Winston put out the call, we saw many faces pop up, a lot of unknown agents and a few that we recognised, but the first to answer was Tracer.
Winston? Is that you, love?
She will undoubtedly be joining Winston in this new Overwatch. The two are very close, as it was Winston who built her chronal accelerator that grounds Tracer in time and grants her control over her powers. We also know that since the call went out, she's actually met with Winston in person, as we saw in the 2016 Winter Wonderland comic. She also brought her girlfriend Emily along, but it's not clear if she will play any role in reforming the organisation. Another person to get Winston's message was May. It was actually his call that caused her to be woken up from cryostasis, and after finding out what the message was about, she set out to find him.
Yes, Winston. I am with you.
However, not every ex-Overwatch agent is guaranteed to return. Genji, for example, is in an interesting position. We know he was sent the call as he was a part of Blackwatch. However, during his time there, he was incredibly angry at what he'd become, his family, and pretty much everything else. But after leaving Blackwatch, he met Zenyatta, who helped him to find peace. It's unclear if this newly enlightened Genji would even want to rejoin Overwatch, but when talking to his brother in the Dragon cinematic, he does say this.
The world is changing once again, Hanzo, and it's time to pick a side.
Could this imply that he's chosen a side in the upcoming battles? In that case, it could very well be Overwatch, and perhaps that he also wishes for Hanzo to join him. It's an interesting notion, and perhaps not completely off the cards, as Hanzo is looking for redemption and has rejected offers to join Talon.
Hanzo, you should consider joining us. I think we'd see eye to eye.
I would have little to gain from such an arrangement. No, I will find my own path.
Another duo of heroes we definitely know to be joining the new Overwatch are Reinhardt and Brigitte.
I have been called. I must answer. Always.
Reinhardt feels honour bound to answer Winston's call, and although Brigitte has her reservations, she will certainly follow him, although she was too young to have been a part of Overwatch the first time around. Orisa never even existed in the time of Overwatch, as she was only built very recently, but she could very possibly be a recruit for Overwatch 2.0. Protecting Numbani is her number one priority, but if she wants to stand up against Doomfist, who previously terrorised the city, perhaps siding with Overwatch would help.
I will keep you safe. That is my primary function.
D.Va was also too young the first time around, and is the youngest human hero at only 19. But she certainly fits the bill for a potential Overwatch recruit from back in the height of its power.
High score for sure.
Lucio could certainly be someone who would want to take their fight against Vishkar to the next level, and seeing as we know that Vishkar are in bed with Talon, or at least they're connected, joining Overwatch in their fight might be a wise move. Farah is a little bit older at 32, but still missed out on joining Overwatch. She started her career by quickly rising up in the Egyptian army, and she would have been a perfect Overwatch recruit, but it was disbanded before she even had the chance to sign up, and she was unable to follow in her mother's footsteps. With Overwatch reforming, perhaps this could be a second chance, if she wanted to leave Helix Security. Speaking of Farah's mother, Anna, I don't think she will be in any hurry to rejoin. She's working with her old friend Soldier 76, and he's also very unlikely to sign back up. these two seem to have given up on the idea of what Overwatch stood for, and instead joined forces as some kind of vigilante duo. Their goals might align with Overwatch from time to time, but I wouldn't expect them to be within its ranks.
You don't get off that easy.
We can also count out Reaper for sure, unless he pulls the biggest double agent heel turn in history. The other evil heroes like Junkrat, Roadhog, Moira, and even Sombra are also not going to be on Winston's invite list, and obviously not Doomfist.
It is good to be back.
Widowmaker is an interesting case though. She's obviously not on the call list, but she was transformed into this killer through brainwashing. If Talon's control over her was to ever fail, could she want revenge and go after Overwatch? Her late husband was once a big player in the organisation, so perhaps that would be her first instinct.
Gerard was a fool to love someone like you.
You don't know anything about him.
There are still a few members of the original Overwatch that we haven't talked about yet. First of all, Torbjorn, who is actually travelling with Bastion at the moment. We know he's still close to Reinhardt and his daughter Brigitte, so perhaps he might join back up, but I wonder if he's too jaded on the idea.
I sometimes wonder if all that armor slows your brain down.
Yeah, and I sometimes wonder if your height is why you're always in such a bad mood.
I expect if he did come back that it would be done very begrudgingly, but possibly with Bastion in tow, which would be an interesting twist. McCree was also sent a message in the Recall cinematic. He's currently working as kind of a vigilante outlaw / bounty hunter. I don't know if he would want to join back up. He's a bit of a wild card. It's possible, but if he did, I imagine it would be done almost as begrudgingly as Torbjorn.
I didn't teach you all my tricks.
Lucky for me, I still have a few tricks of my own.
Mercy was also on the recall list. She's working as a field medic, and we know she still has some contact with Genji, so I would think that she would lean more towards joining than not, even if just to protect her friends. But she had her reservations about Overwatch the first time around, and I can't imagine any of those have gone away.
Overwatch was shut down for a reason. Maybe it's best it stay that way.
Symetra is in an interesting position. We know she's working for Vishkar, who are obviously pretty bad, but she doesn't seem to be evil herself. Could she leave the company and run to Overwatch, or perhaps act as some kind of double agent?
Vishkar is building a better future for humanity.
You believe that? I don't even know what to tell you.
Zarya is also beginning to have her worldview altered. She's already a hero to her people, and has long held a deep hatred for Omnics, something that would clash with a new Overwatch's ideals, but as we saw in her comic, her views have started to shift. She's currently fighting the Omnic uprising in Russia, where the second Omnic crisis is heating up. It was a news report on this event that caused Winston to recall Overwatch in the first place, so if he intends to get involved in that fight, then contact with Zarya is certainly a possibility. But I think that she would still put her country above anything else.
I will not let the fate that befell this place happen to my country.
Lastly, we have Zenyatta. It's fairly unlikely that he would want to get involved with a militaristic group like Overwatch, but perhaps his contact with Genji could bring him into the fold in some way.
It is good to fight alongside one of my brightest pupils. And you, Master.
What do you think of these predictions for Overwatch 2.0? Do you disagree and think that Junkrat should be replacing Winston as the leader? Let me know in the comments. As always, this is James for Cass, saying thanks for watching, and enjoy the game.